Hello and welcome to another episode of Shine Like a North Star. My name is Carrie Burchill and I am the proud president of North Star Coaching. We call these episodes Shine Like a North Star because they're intended to help you shine your best, just like the North Star. Now, what do we know about the North Star? It doesn't shine with the same brightness all the time. And so we have this ebb and flow that's quite natural as human beings, as leaders and influencers in our world. And that is just fine because we are together to think through how do we shine like a North Star. I've got some inspirational stories today. This weekly live is always based on experiences that my clients are grappling with and working through. And today's theme actually is on managing the head talk. So ironically, the head talk and the voice in our head is one of the few things that we can really control in the world. And this inspiration today comes from my own grandma. Check this out. She recently turned 103, right? Just smart as a whip. And that excuse of visiting my grandma and celebrating her 103rd, where she did, for the record, pound back a 6-ounce steak. Love grandma. So healthy, so strong. Walks into that restaurant with her walker I just take inspiration from her all the time. But that excuse of visiting her and spending time with her really gave me a chance to talk with other senior citizens and glean from some of their advice. So there was this situation of someone who talked through a frustrating moment and really a prime example of managing head talk. So again, a lesson from seniors who have lived longer than most of us watching this video. Here's a story of someone who was alone in their condo room and they just had that brain fart. Now, of course, I'm having them at half their age. These seniors are similar to my grandma, encroaching on 100, and they were frustrated in this brain fart that they had, which was they couldn't remember their great-grandson's name. And rather than just sitting alone in the room, imagine that you're maybe hard of hearing or sight is a little bit challenging. I mean, there's just lots of things in that senior citizen world that could be oppressive and could really give way to managing or not managing the head talk. This senior leader, I call them a leader because honestly, they're leading me in just being a better person, but this senior citizen was telling me about this frustration that they recently had and in sort of my coach way asking them about, well, what did you do? You couldn't remember your grandson's name. And they said, well, I remembered that somebody told me that my grandson had a cowboy name. Oh, what cowboy? Thinking, what do cowboys do? Well, they ride horses. What do horses do? Gallop, trot, run. What are all the horse terminology things? And this person remembered horses walk. Oh, Walker. So the grandson's name was Walker. And I tell this story because it's such a powerful example of managing that head talk. This senior, friend of my grandma's could have just gotten stuck by, I'm so old, I'm so dumb, I can't remember my great-grandson's name. No, it wasn't any of that. The person realized they were frustrated, realized they were stuck, and kept brainstorming to walk themselves through what that looked like. So as a reminder, right, you control your head talk. This senior friend of my grandma's had just a great example of, okay, I'm frustrated, legit, and what am I doing to talk myself through that? They just weren't going to stop at, oh my goodness, I can't believe I don't remember my grandson's name. They didn't stop there, right? So some of that work is thinking through what we all experience, right? Which is this spin, the orange lines here that you see on your screen, and really going down to root cause. So this senior person could think through, okay, I can't remember. What can I do? Oh, I remember somebody telling me, oh, neat, your grandson has a cowboy's name, and really brought themselves to springing up from the bottom of that spin into the solution of ultimately coming up with the grandson's name. Now, what's important to remember about people is that we don't come out of these spins on our own. So I love this picture of grandma at her birthday. And of course, of one of her best friends. This is my Aunt Lorraine, sister-in-law relationship. you can just see them chatting here. And at different times during the luncheon that we had for Grandma's 103rd, my aunt was giving my grandma a hard time for like worrying about the cost of the meal or whatever was kind of the worry stuff in my grandma's head. And so we don't pull out of our spin alone. That's my point in this, right? So we all have a spin and it's natural. And out of the spin can often come with some head talk, which, as we've talked about, you control your head talk, right? So when we think about the seniors in our lives, I want to share my grandma's advice, which is, whenever you hit those challenges, you go on, you go do what you have to do, and that's it. Like, that's the recipe of life. So it was such a treat to go home and be with Grandma and her circle of friends, to see the value of working through challenges with the people in our lives. So even as you're watching this, like, who are going to be the people that you sit with on your 103rd birthday? And how can we lean on them to own our head talk, to own those moments that are challenging for us? We all have them, as much as we wish we didn't, and just appreciate them and lean into it. We don't stop the head talk entirely on our own. We need a sounding board to kind of slow down that spin. And, depending on the context, it might be appropriate that you reach out to someone like me, who's a coach, to help be a sounding board, to figure out what the bottom of your spin is, to help you bounce up, put in solutions that help you shine like a North Star. I hope you are all well. I hope you have inspirational people around you like I do with my grandmother, 103. We all said that we're going to come to her 104th. Like, Grandma is strong. And of course, when I remind her of her strength, she diminishes it and just thinks that she's just plugging along. But really, what does Grandma do that's inspiring, right? She captures life. You go on, you do what you have to do. That's it. And that is life. So let's go on and do this work together. I'm Carrie Burchell. You can check me out at carrieburchell.com. I'd love to be a part of your journey in managing the head talk, shining like a North Star, and just being the best you, because we need you. Take care.